Good afternoon. This is the JP Dinnell YouTube exclusive. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
What you got?
Well, we got a couple of different directions that we could go today on this YouTube exclusive Q&A. I'm Lucas Pinger, by the way. JP doesn't introduce me anymore because he doesn't like my Mike Mitchell wave. So let's talk about that in the comments. Next.
Have I ever introduced you on the YouTube exclusives?
Always.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just work here, man.
All right. Sorry.
So,
and this is the JP Dinnell podcast.
Okay, so I think I want to go. The Jiu-Jitsu route.
Let's go
on this one. Okay, so this is from Mr. Jetlag Fever. Now this is from. I know it's so good. This is from the now second most viewed YouTube video that we have, which is your light roll with Jocko. So this is a question from there. Is that hand in the face legal?
Yes.
Okay, is it legal in sport jiu-jitsu or is it legal just because anything goes on the mats?
Yes and yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You can literally suffocate somebody if you want.
You can?
Yeah. Wagner Rocha does it all the time.
That sounds like a made-up name. Who?
That's like a really high-level jiu-jitsu guy. Came and did a seminar at Anthony's gym.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He just suffocates folks all the time with his hand.
Yep.
And that's totally legal.
100%.
Are you going to teach that move to the girls?
That's what
So they
I
can
think
just,
they
like,
know
start
about
doing
that.
it?
No, they do it.
Do they?
Yeah.
I've never had that happen to me before. I do think
I did it to Jocko at immersion camp.
Did you?
Yes. This last year.
I think
we were rolling. And it was like a monster heart. It was like a legit roll.
Uh-huh.
And I got to a position where I could do that to him, and I started doing it. And everyone was kind of like, and I didn't say it, but I'm like, bro, you know how many times he's done this to me? Like,
yeah,
the fact that I get to do it back is amazing. And I even said, I was like, I'm going to pay for this later.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I did.
Yeah. I think if anything was going to get like a really visceral response out of me, I don't like my face being touched. If somebody puts their hands over my face like that, that is
covers your face,
bro,
your mouth and nose.
My instincts.
But what are you going to do when they have you in a position where you already can't move?
Yeah,
you already can't move, and then they do it to you.
So either that's when I'm going to start like actually throwing hands, or that's when I potentially.
But you can't throw hands because you're in a move that you can't. You can't move. Like your hands are going to be trapped to your side or underneath. Like if I have full mount on you and your arms are like trapped underneath my legs, or I'm holding your one free arm and my elbow's pinning your other arm and I cover your mouth, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, probably not.
You're tapping with your foot in panic, or you just
lick your hand.
Somehow work your way out of it. Yeah. Another one that Jocko will do sometimes, he's talked about it, the sweat drop tap, where he'll just sit there and let sweat drop off of his face into your eyes.
That's just so unsanitary. That's an HR violation, I think, like in every company, like to just leave. Well, I guess those are, what are the code of conduct is the bloodborne pathogens. So it's not technically bloodborne pathogens, but it is DNA of a sort.
It's none of that in jiu-jitsu when you're training.
It's like a hazmat team needs to come in here. Well, that's what they do after the jiu-jitsu trainings. They've got like crazy sanitizer stuff that they spray the mats down with, which is good.
And I use those.
Prevents the ringworm.
I do.
Which is not actually a worm.
What's the name of those wipes that I use?
Dude wipes?
No.
Baby wipes?
No.
Are they the Striker, like shower wipe? Because Striker makes the wipes that they use in the hospital for the... They used to give sponge baths, but now they don't. It's the Striker wipes, which are their sanitary wipes. I don't know what kind of wipes you use.
Dude, they're awesome. They are freaking awesome for after wrestling, after jiu-jitsu. Just a complete, like, it's a complete wipe sanitizing. Like, it's a cleaning.
Intimacy that we don't have is me knowing what kind of wipes you use.
Yeah, that's all right. If you trained consistently.
Mm-hmm. That's true. If I trained consistently, I'd be way more interested in your wipes.
You would, because you would need them.
I just go, I don't live so far that I need to, like, sanitize before I get into the vehicle.
I do it just because it's like, hey, if there is any, like, funk on you, like just getting that off before you like put on other clothes, or like I'll use it to wipe down my feet before I put them back into my sandals. It just, it's not needed, but it's just an extra layer of.
We should make our own sanitary like jiu-jitsu wipes called Funk Off, and that would be.
Well, the fact that you said it, now somebody else is going to do it. Good job.
You're welcome. I'd like 5% of that equity for that whenever you guys go on Shark Tank. Just let them know that only 95% is available.
That's amazing. Oh, well, I can't.
Are you just looking through your Amazon purchases?
Defense wipes. Defense body wipes. Yep. Defense soap body wipes. That's what I use.
All right.
With all natural tea tree oil, post-workout, sport, wrestling, camping, shower wipes for men and women. They're awesome, man.
Nice. Defense
body wipes. Anyways.
It does sound like the kind of thing you would use.
Yeah. You know, I like to stay clean and sanitary.
Well, no, just because
I also shower before I go work out.
Do you base like the things that you purchase off of what has the most aggressive name?
No, I buy stuff based off of what works.
Yeah, but like the initial one. Okay, so you want to go buy shower wipes, and you look at there's a list of shower wipes. You're going to look at reviews, right? But are you naturally just attracted to whatever has the most aggressive name?
No, you interrupted me. I was getting ready to tell you,
okay, tell your
but you wanted to finish your sentence about me buying aggressive things.
I wanted to better articulate my question. Oh, okay. That's what I wanted.
Well, your question sucks.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Sometimes that happens. You do a balance assessment on my questions.
I was at Aiden's wrestling tournament, and they had them there for sale. Like a vendor was selling the defense wipes. So I'm like, oh, these are cool. And they had one open. You could like smell it, you could try it, or like whatever. And I was looking at it, and I had heard about them. I'd maybe tried them a long time ago from somebody else, like at the gym. And I was like, oh, awesome. And I bought them. And what's awesome is they also have little individual ones. So I have those in my backpack for when I'm traveling, like just in case something happens, a flight delayed or whatever else like that. Like I at least have those. So I use them after jiu-jitsu, after shooting, after, whatever, if I'm on the road. So they're good. I like them.
Do they have different flavors or scents or something?
Flavors?
I don't know. This is my first time looking up defense wipes.
No, I think it's just one for right now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
I can look that up.
They have a bucket where you can get 400 of them in the bucket. That's huge. Find in local stores. Learn. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, man.
Yep. All right, so you can legally suffocate somebody with the hand.
Yep.
And then afterwards, you want to get those defense wipes going.
Yeah, you can wipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, what other jiu-jitsu questions? Are there any other ones?
Well, you have the one that everybody always asks. What belt is the hardest belt to earn?
I mean, I would go with the very general popular answer. It's the white belt. Like just showing up and just doing jiu-jitsu. I think that's the first thing. Every other belt is pretty easy. You just have to be consistent with your training.
Yeah.
You'll get promoted if you're consistent with your training. And it's not because you're just showing up, but if you're consistent with your training, you'll develop the skill sets that are required for your advancement. There's a lot of people like, oh, you should be a brown belt. No, I should not. They're going just off the time that I've had my purple belt. But if you look at the time I've spent on the mat, I don't deserve my brown belt.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? I don't have the skill sets of a brown belt.
Yeah.
There are things that I should know as a purple belt that allows me to progress to a brown belt that I don't know. And Formiga knows this. So that's why I don't have my brown belt. And, when people are like, oh, you're a brown belt, you should be a brown. No, I'm not. I should not be a brown belt. I'm not a brown belt. It has nothing to do with the amount of time I've been training. It's the time that you put into the training. That's the difference. It's the time on the mat. It's the ability to be proficient. I know people that have had their brown belt for years and they've been training consistently. They don't have their black belts. You want to know why?
Why?
because they're not black belt level. They're not good at their jiu-jitsu yet.
Yeah.
Their jiu-jitsu is good to be a brown belt, but not good enough to be a black belt. And I respect those professors that have not given them their black belts, because it's super easy to be like, well, they're my paying customer and they've had their brown belt longer than they should have. I should promote them to black belt.
Yeah, there is a weird customer service element to it.
There is a business behind it. Oh, there's some gyms that like
you can purchase the belts, I've heard.
Yeah, there are some like that where if you just do these classes, you'll get promoted. It's literally like a punch card system.
Yeah.
If you do your 20 classes, you get your first stripe. You do 20 more classes, you get your second stripe. It's like, all right, it's like the Kovar's karate system back in the day. Now, not all gyms are like that, but there are a handful of like, it's a punch card system. And there are some that also do that, but there are a good version of that. It's like, okay, hey, it's a punch card system, meaning you've done these classes, learned these moves, and shown that you're proficient in them. And then part of their promotion ceremony, Lucas, is you have to there's a list of things that you have to show that you're proficient on.
Yeah.
Which is great. I think that's really cool. Should be done that way. Yeah, I mean, there are gyms that have like extra belts to keep people like at the beginner level, to keep them engaged until they get to their blue belt. Well, it's actually, I mean, I go back and forth on that. I understand it from a business aspect.
Right, but that's I mean, if you're going to do that, that is part of the stripe system, right? Is to keep people engaged. I mean, the very first place.
But Formiga doesn't do stripes.
No, he doesn't.
He's old school Brazilian, which I like.
Yeah, the first place I did jiu-jitsu, we had, like, if you wanted to earn your stripes, you had to show proficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
And they were...
That's good.
They were like what you were talking about. Like, they had a call sheet that they used, because this school was really oriented towards sport jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had a call sheet, and the coaches would call out, hey, use escape 1, or use, whatever, submission 3 or whatever. And you had to know what those things were, and you had to show that you could move from one to the next and do all those kinds of things. But that's how you earned your stripes. But somebody could have, 4 stripes on their white belt and not get a blue belt, where somebody else would have 2 stripes on their white belt and get a blue belt. And so that was one of the things that was odd to me about that particular system, is like, okay, in order to get the stripes, they were kind of those like in between belt stages, where if you showed that you were proficient in moving from one thing to the other, that meant that you could do it. But at that point, you were essentially working on an opponent who wasn't resisting. You were just showing that you knew how to get from one position to the next. But to actually get promoted, the amount of stripes on your belt didn't actually go into your promotion. It was like, how good are you on the mats? How good are you actually in tournaments? So it was always a weird thing for me.
I think it's also cool how, the high level jiu-jitsu schools and instructors, they have the freedom and flexibility to do what they want.
Yeah, to do what they want to do.
There are some that definitely abuse like the system and have turned it into a business, which, okay, you can look at it multiple different ways. I don't care. Like, you're exposing people to jiu-jitsu, you're getting them to love the sport. All right, that's cool. That's awesome. You have a good training environment where people are safe and they have fun. Cool. Awesome. Like, there's levels to the game. We'll just say that. And I think that's awesome. And, I had a really, the gym that I was at before Double Five, I loved training there. It was, like, you'd go in and you can get some freaking monster rounds, and you get some easy rounds, and you can get some hard, you know what I mean? Like, they had everything there.
Yeah.
And it's at whatever level that you wanted. And they did stripes there. And I was like, cool. But then I had my blue belt with 3 stripes, and I was supposed to be getting a 4th stripe, and he just promoted me to purple belt, which I didn't think I was going to be getting my purple belt. And I was like, wait, hold on. What? And he was like, no, you're at that purple belt level. You've been training consistent. It's when COVID hit, and I was training all the time, right? We had that speakeasy jiu-jitsu going on where, oh, cool, you guys don't train. We're training, and there. Like, I was training all the time, and my game definitely elevated, and which I thought was cool. Like, I didn't want my purple belt, but I was like, okay, if my professor, if he
thinks I'm ready for it.
If he thinks I'm ready, then I get it.
Yeah.
And, I know I have a buddy that trains at another gym in a different region, and he has gotten he's gotten some of his stripes, whatever. If somebody from another gym who's an upper belt comes and cross trains there, and if he gets a sub on them, he gets a stripe.
What? Yeah. That's hilarious.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And what's funny is, like, I told this somebody one time, they're like, oh, and I'm like, okay, but his black belt would mop the match with your black belt. Like, his professor is gangster.
Yeah.
He is really, really good. So it's like, what, are you going to challenge that?
Yes.
Like, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And, okay, cool. If you have a problem, like, go train there and see what happens when you roll with this guy. He's going to freaking smash you. So
if I
it was just because it wasn't done
him,
traditional.
Do I get to take his stripe? Like, that's what I want. Yeah. Like, if he's gonna get one for submitting me, like, if we go around and I get a submission on him, do I get to take his stripe? Like, I don't want to put it on my belt. I just want him to watch me throw it away.
I remember
it'd be so cold.
I remember the first time I submitted one of my buddies who was a black belt and I was a blue belt. I caught him and I was like, I'll be taking that home. Bro.
Did you just destroy you after that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And all the other black belts just freaking smashed me.
No doubt.
It was good. I wanted that. I like that. Like, I'm good with that. Like, hey, like, I like to put it. I liked that 100%.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I wasn't being disrespectful. I was like, it's my bro.
Right.
And I said it with like a smile. I was laughing, and he was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we slapped and bumped, it was like, oh.
Game over.
And then, but what's cool is, what he could have said is, I wasn't going 100%. That's why you caught me, because he quickly showed me
that he wasn't going 100%.
No, because and when our next little, like, the rest of that round, he showed me that he was way above my level. And he was letting me work when I caught him. That's the thing. He was letting me, and I knew that, but I was like joking when I said it. But he said it without saying it, which I thought was awesome. And I had even more respect for this guy. I had a lot of respect for him, but even more respect for him when he didn't say that. He could have. His ego didn't get, no, zero excuses. And I was like, cool, hey. And we went, and he whooped the living out of me.
Good.
Oh, I loved it.
Needed.
I 100% needed it, and I wanted it. And then every other black belt, they must have like some like little secret like head nod or whatever that I missed, because the rest of my morning there was freaking. It was one of those times, I'm not exaggerating, I sat in my car for 30 minutes with it on, no music, and I just sat there before I drove home.
Just recovering?
Yep. And then I went over to Sam's Club that was right next door, and went into the freezer section where they have all the, like, the refrigerator section where they have all like the fruit, grabbed a thing of mangoes, sat in the corner of the refrigerator section in Sam's Club, and started eating mangoes. Trying to recover.
Just trying to recoup sugar and energy.
Just something.
Life force back into you. Yeah. That makes sense.
I remember one of the workers was like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm going to be fine.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Like,
cool. Just all geed up in the corner.
No, I had shorts and a tank top on and flip flops. I think my face, I had a black eye.
Yeah.
My lip was all swollen, and
Yep. You should see the other guy. He's fine.
He looks good.
He's fine. He just looks great.
Looks like he was in the kids class.
It's Ryan Kramer.
Yeah. No, it was not. But Ryan does that.
I'm just saying.
No, this was at this was at another gym.
Yeah,
this was not at Double 5.
I'm just saying, as far as like looks good.
Oh,
Ryan Kramer.
Annoying.
Yep.
Trey Warren.
I don't know Trey.
Yeah. You haven't met Trey?
I don't think so.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Anthony as well.
I'm not.
And Anthony just smiles at you while he's whooping you.
I don't like that.
It's annoying.
Mm-hmm. So next question, also a martial arts question.
Okay.
Do you have any desire to train a Meridote with Master Ken?
He came to immersion camp 2 years ago.
That's what I heard. Yeah. So did you work with him at all there? Like, did you get to meet? Because I think his actual name's like Matt Page. That's what his actual name is.
I can't remember.
Did you get to meet or talk to him?
Oh yeah. He's hilarious.
Yeah. What's his? Because I mean, at that point, he's like all off the cuff, like it's all improv, right?
Yeah.
So, but funny in person.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real nice guy.
Did he refer to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as BGG? Is how he did?
Oh, the amount of insults he had towards Jiu-Jitsu at a Jiu-Jitsu camp was incredible.
It was awesome. I was watching one of his videos last night where he was talking about how to tie the knife knot. And what it is it's a knot that you use where you actually tie a knife into the knot on your belt so it just sticks right out. And it looks like it's impossible to use. And he was like, okay, this is the perfect defense against BGGs. All right, here, come on. Try to put me in side control. Can't. Penetrated.
Yeah.
And it's just
stab.
It's just awesome. Yep. All right, final question. And this one comes from at the guy to your left. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
A horse-sized duck?
I love this at the guy to your left. He is really good with these questions.
It's kind of vanilla.
I believe he's the guy that also asked you about your bruiser arm.
Pretty vanilla. Let's see.
No weapons. This is just you.
Oh, no weapons.
Yeah, no weapons. This is just you fighting either 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck.
A horse-sized duck would be terrifying.
I think
no
it'd
weapon.
Be terrible. Yeah.
I would do, bro. I would be soccer punt kicking those
tiny
duck-sized horses.
Yep.
Yes, 100%.
Because I also think like, all right, if you were able to take out one duck-sized horse. So you got no weapons. Now you can use the duck-sized horse.
I would grab her by the
now
neck
that's a
and
flail.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
I feel like I could
really
grab it and like swing it around and break its neck. You know, like you do with like
with a chicken,
or a rooster,
or a duck,
or a
goose,
duck-sized horse.
Yep. You're not picking up a duck-sized horse and swinging it around like that.
You're not doing anything.
You're talking about a 1,400-pound duck.
You meant a horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything to that.
Yeah. No, you're not.
The thing, I
bet
you
that
thing
if it was
could
like a
eat
goose or a swan instead of a duck,
It
like
could eat
something
you.
that was like really aggressive.
You think it could eat you?
Horse-sized duck?
Yeah. What about a horse-sized rooster?
I bet I don't know. A horse-sized rooster would definitely be able to peck you to death. Yeah, for sure. But they're also like so skittish.
Maybe the skittish leaves when they realize how much of a massive animal they are.
Yeah, maybe so. They're also like really mean. Or they can be.
That's scary.
Just for the algorithm, we're not advocating any harm against animals. This is a totally hypothetical thing.
Oh, yeah, no. If you harm animals, I'm going to come harm you.
JP's also not actually threatening you for...
Of course I'm not.
YouTube. Yeah.
We'll just edit that.
So 100 duck-sized horses. That's the verdict, huh?
Yes, 100 duck-sized horses I would fight instead of a horse-sized duck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like I could choke them out, like if I had to. Just put them to sleep. Put them to sleep. Put them to sleep.
The thing you would have to worry about though is like it could be that death by 1,000 cuts thing.
But there's only 100 of them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but the hooves is what I would worry about, right? Like if you
to what, my shins or my feet? They're not. I'm not worried about.
So, if it's a duck-sized horse,
if I'm wearing my origin boots, I'm not worried about it because I'm kicking every single one of those.
Yeah, I'm just saying like that there is that possibility, right? Because those hooves are nasty. Like if you ever see, we went hunting with a guy. Named Mike, and Mike was one of my favorite human beings in the world because he smoked cigarettes while he was filling up our gas tank and driving the boat at the same time when we were on this lake. He was absolutely hysterical and safety hazard for everyone.
Just for life.
For life in general. He was telling us that when he was, he's a teenager, he's like 17 years old, he's hunting on the same lakes that we're on. This lake's got all these little islands. That there was a deer that was swimming from one lake to another, a buck. And so he decided he was going to try and drown it. And he jumped out of the boat and grabbed the deer by the antlers and was like trying to ride it and drown it because it was like this really good looking buck. And then they had to take Mike to the hospital. And he's got scars all up and down his arms from where the deer took its hooves and could bring it around its head and was slapping him on the arm. And his arms looked like they'd been through a meat grinder because the hooves are so sharp. So that would be the one thing I would look out for is the horse hooves. Because also if you look at like people who have been attacked by moose or deer or
yeah, but they're
elk.
tiny. We're talking these are tiny at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, still sharp hoofs.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think 100
But
ducks.
horses can be aggressive, but they're also skittish as well. So I
Yeah.
think you take out the first one and then they just run.
Yep. Later horsies.
That'd be cool to see horse-sized ducks.
No, I would not like a horse-sized.
I want to see them.
I wouldn't want to see it.
I would. If it's in the zoo.
Maybe that should be the next project for Jurassic Park. Let's just make
What if
some
a horse-sized
ducks.
duck
We've gotten so far down this.
fights a silverback gorilla?
A horse-sized duck fights a silverback gorilla.
My money's still on the silverback gorilla.
So here's one thing that you have to take into account. Have you ever messed with ducks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so ducks, people don't often think of this, but the duck claws are so freaking sharp. Mm-hmm. They're vicious.
And you're talking about
we
something
raised
that
meat ducks, and they're
that can
horrible.
kind of fly a little bit.
Yeah, kind of fly a little bit. And I don't know, a horse-sized, if it's a horse-sized duck, I think.
Like Clydesdale size.
This is going to, you're talking like a 1,600-pound duck versus a 1,000-pound gorilla. Like a 1,000-pound gorilla max. That's going to be I think it's a fair fight.
I'd buy the HBO for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Pay-per-view for that. Mm-hmm. I would.
I'd watch it on Netflix if it was an opener to Tyson, Jake Paul.
It's kind of sad that's not happening anymore.
Oh, it's still happening. They're just having to push it back.
Okay.
Until he gets over his health stuff.
Cool.
I've heard, and this is all speculation, but I've heard rhabdo.
Oh.
Yeah.
From overtraining? Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, from going from nothing and doing podcasts to full fight camp, and just because he's Mike Tyson, just going from 0 to 1,000.
Yeah.
That he got, and being weird. A person who's dealt with it before.
Yeah, I've had a few
times. Yeah, you've had a
times.
few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
yeah, could be a little rough. And plus, he's way older than you are.
I hope he rests up. I hope he gets healthy, and I hope he just obliterates Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, with that note, we appreciate you guys as always, and of course, I have Lucas with me. Stop with the wave. We appreciate you guys listening, supporting everything that you guys do. Any questions you guys have, please let us know in the comments so we can get to you guys in the upcoming weeks. This has been the JP Dinnell Podcast YouTube exclusive. Go out there, do the work, and never settle.